All of your favorite films were professionally color graded with huge budgets. But what if I told you can get similar results without hiring a huge color grading department and paying thousands of dollars? Color grading is one of the things that can separate your videos from looking amateur to professional. At core, it can help your audience get immersed into the story, but it's extremely easy to get it wrong. Today I will show you how you can transform your videos from looking like this to this in a matter of few clicks. Recently, Dehancer has reached out to me to test their Dehancer Pro plugin. It's a film emulation software plugin that lets you change the look and the feel of your videos with over 60 photographic and movie profiles. The Pro version includes film grade, halation, bloom, film grade, damage, overscan, vignette, large generator, 130 camera profiles. But what does it actually do? And can this tool help you get a better color grades out of your videos? This summer I went to gorgeous Amalfi Coast, but the edit I made previously on the channel didn't really showcase the beauty of this place. So I thought I could use the Dehancer to create a better color graded film. I recorded all the footage with basic color profile on GH5. Hold up, I know you're thinking, I should have filmed in log profile. But to be honest, I'm not an expert at color grading, and if I can make my workflow faster, I'm all up for it. Nevertheless, we're gonna try to grade the footage since it was recorded in 10-bit 4:2 on the GH5. So let's jump into the Premiere Pro. I've already pre-installed the Dehancer Pro plugin within the Premiere Pro. It was really easy. I have a few clips on my timeline that I want to show you from our Amalfi trip. Really stunning clips, I might say. What I want to get from these clips is get a sense of nostalgia. I want to get the feeling of Amalfi Coast. I want to get a feeling of Italy. So hopefully we'll be able to achieve it with the Dehancer Pro plugin. I didn't play around with it on purpose because I really wanted to see if it's really easy to just jump in straight away without knowing much about color grading with this particular tool. Alright guys, so most of the clips are correctly exposed. It was really sunny during all those days with a little bit of clouds here and there. So once you install your plugin, you go to your effects panel and you choose Dehancer. I will apply it onto the adjustment layer just because I really want to see if I can apply the same LUT onto all of the clips all at once. There are two versions of Dehancer. There's Dehancer Lite, which is a slightly cheaper version, and Dehancer Pro, which is their extended version. As you can see, pretty much everything is the same except these parts. You get stuff like halation, vignette, monitoring, LUT generator, whereas here you just have a lighter version, and that's why it's a little bit cheaper. So if you're fine with these settings, then it's perfectly fine. But as you will see, once you really dive into the Pro version, I think that's where the magic starts. Interestingly, initially I asked the team at Dehancer to give me just the light version because I wanted to see if there's going to be much difference, but much more flexibility when it comes to post-production and color grading. So now that you understand the differences between the light and the Pro version, let's just get into the color grading. Input, of course, we're going to go with Rec 709 because I haven't recorded that in any log profile. The reason why the color has suddenly changed is because we have this setting enabled. We have so much to choose from. I mean, there are many different options. I think what's best is just going through all of them and just trying to see which one is your favorite. I want to go for warm colors. I want to go for something that's going to resonate with how I was feeling when I was recording these clips. So warm, exciting, a little bit more saturated colors than usual. I kind of like this Kodachrome 64. I mean, even this looks nice. And let's see the difference. So that's before and after. Before and after. You could argue that you might prefer the other look, but to be honest, I think I'm gonna go with experimental. I'm gonna make it a little bit warmer. Tint compensation, I'm gonna try to decrease it a little bit because this filter really bumped up the purple. Okay, let's see what the difference is. It's a little bit pinkish. Instax would be quite cold. But I like this one. I like this one. That's just the start, guys. You're choosing the film profile. There's so much more to go through. Film developer, what I'm going for, I think I'm gonna go for a little bit less contrast. Film compression, still quite nice, but I want the white point to be actually not compressed that much. Tonal range, so that's where the contrast is going to come back again. I want to keep it at 78. White point, no, definitely not that bright. Generally, when it comes to film, the actual analog film, sometimes it's really easy to overexpose stuff. So we're gonna keep it a little bit on the bright side. And then the black point, we're gonna keep it a little bit darker than usual. Print, linear, Cinelog, Fujifilm, Kodak. Ooh, I kind of like this one. But then again, it's quite moody. Let's see what the difference is. So you see, just because we chose the film at the beginning, that's where most of the difference actually comes from. Target white, we can target white with this effect, or we can bump up the exposure. This is not necessarily what I would like to do, but let's keep it at 1. Tonal contrast, I think we have enough contrast as it is. Let's reduce it a little bit. Let's keep it simple, guys, because this is a lot. Color head, okay, what is going on? I mean, as you see, so much settings. As I will get later to what's the actual price of the plugin, you will see the price is quite steep, but primarily this is the reason, because it has so many settings. As I was learning about the product, it became apparent that they had to do some scientific research or get some scientists that would actually translate all the film profiles, so from the Kodaks, from Fujifilm, onto the digital version. So from analog to digital. I can imagine it must have taken a lot of time and a lot of resources. So maybe that's why the price turns out to be quite steep. Film grain, I'm not too sure about it. I don't particularly enjoy having grain in my footage. Halation is an interesting one because it gives almost like a different feeling to the footage. So it's usually applied not to the shadows, but to the highlights. And as you can see, there can be a huge difference if you choose something like 8mm and 65mm. Mask mode also enables you to see what the actual changes impact the footage before actually seeing the full result. So this is how it would look like if you just took the clip away and left it black. I think I'm going to keep it at 65 because I just don't want to give it too much. Bloom, pretty straightforward. It's going to give that pop to the highlights once again. But do we want to make it super noticeable? Probably not. Here's before and here's after. So you can see there's a huge difference and there's sort of like this aura. Film damage, why not? Let's add some 16mm. That will become apparent while we play the clip. So as you can see, there's this little freckles on the screen. That's going to be the film damage. Do I particularly like this? I don't think so. You can even go to custom and change every single detail. Okay guys, now it makes sense. When I was going through this before, I just skimmed over the settings. In this case, you can even go to custom and change every single thing about this. I'm impressed. I'm not gonna lie. I can tell that this is very heavy on the computer because I'm playing at full resolution and it's not giving me full readout. If I change it to 1/8, yeah, now we can see everything is running smoothly. But let's not enable it. I think we are fine with the damage. We don't necessarily need it. Film breathing, that's very interesting. It's gonna change how your footage looks like. So it's gonna be more apparent here. So it changes the color shifts a little bit as if you were filming on the actual analog camera. Very interesting. Here's very apparent. You see like how the blue water changes especially. I'm not particularly a fan because I still want to keep that cinematic vibe of the video. Gate wave, there's this movement. There's this movement that is not necessarily induced by me recording, but something that is happening on the actual video. Okay, this is actually looking pretty nice. It looks much different than my previous edit, which I wasn't very happy about. It was alright, but I knew that if I spent a little bit more time color grading it, maybe the footage would fall apart. But I can see the footage here looks good. I mean, I was recording in 422 10-bit on the GH5, so it should be fine. Overscan, let's see what it does. I'll enable it. This is the stuff that everybody likes to put in their videos nowadays. Whether you're shooting for portrait, for Instagram, everybody likes to add this overscan. Do I really want to keep it? No, I want to showcase the entire beauty of Amalfi Coast. So I'm not particularly huge on this in this particular video. If I wanted to reminisce maybe some memories, I would definitely use this one. That would be perfect, but not for this particular situation. Vignette. Do we want to use vignette? We can ever so slightly decrease it, so it gives that more cinematic vibe. Further aspect ratio. I mean, we can play around with literally everything. Monitor. You have false colors, so this is really interesting. I'm changing now the exposure, and as you can see, the false colors are telling me that the footage actually gets brighter, and now it gets darker. Clipping indication. Yeah, there we have clipping on the footage that is completely bright. It also will give you clipping if the footage is too dark, and that's pretty useful. With this slider, we can actually adjust and how much the changes are going to influence the final footage without having to do, you know, the adjustment layer style. So like decreasing it like this. So that's really useful. You can have it in just one effect control panel. Alright guys, so for me, this looks so much better now. I mean, we have this nice, vibey, really warm and really interesting kind of footage. It is quite choppy because I'm playing at full playback right now. But I really like it how it turned out. We're just going to give a little bit of music and then we're going to compare with and without so you can see if this is something that you're interested in. Of course, I would definitely recommend you guys to actually dive into the lumetri colors and tweak the colors that you would like. But for me, I think I'm happy with this. It's so much better already than previous edit. Here we have bloom, halation, all the other components. And let's see how the final result turns out. But before we go into the final results, let's talk about the Dehancer Colors Awards 2024. This competition is free to entry and you can take part in it if you use any of the Dehancer plugins. There are 6 categories you can enter. I would probably try to enter a feature film nomination as it has the best chance of winning because there are least amount of videos in there. And of course, good luck to you if you take part in it.
Nel blu dipinto di blu, felice di stare lassù, ma tutti i sogni nell'alba svaniscono perché quando tramonta la luna li porta con sé. Ma io continuo a sognare negli occhi tuoi belli, che sono blu come un cielo trapunto di stelle.
So let's ask the big question. Should I get the Dehancer plugin? I mean, should you get the Dehancer plugin? I would definitely see this plugin to be used in a production house or a solo filmmaker who really wants to elevate their style of their videos. But for somebody who's just starting out doing videography or video editing, this is not the first plugin that I would recommend. There's so many other things like lighting, storytelling, camera techniques that you have to master before you jump into this. The plugin and the playback will be heavy no matter what machine you have because there's so much processing going on when you apply all these different looks that is inevitable if you even have the newest MacBook. But exporting is no problem as you've seen. So if you want to elevate your color grades, you want to get a specific film look, this is a great plugin. However, if you're just starting out, I wouldn't recommend it because first of all, it's really expensive. The price is going to be the biggest holdback for many people. The Pro version costs $450 and the Lite version just shy of $200 US. The Dehancer is available for DaVinci, Resolve, Final Cut and Adobe as well. So to summarize guys, this plugin works great. I'm sure I could have gotten a lot more if I played around with it more and I understood what each component does to the certain parameter in the footage. However, I would probably say it's really simple to operate. There are simple buttons. If you know Premiere Pro, you can manage it. I don't know if I would particularly use this tool for Instagram creations. However, if I was making a feature film or music video, I would definitely try to integrate this plugin because I could go the extra mile with the color grading and get that specific look that I would like. Thank you so much, the Dehancer team, for letting me play around with this plugin. Hopefully, in half a year, I can show you more films that I've created with the Dehancer plugin. If you'd like to test the Dehancer, it's free to try, but if you want to purchase it, there's an affiliate link down below. It really supports me and the channel and future creations for you guys. But thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.